Hello everybody. In this video, we are going to create a new application. I'm planning to do a chat application using Firebase as a backend, and I believe it's going to be really interesting. So now, something different I want to try in this video is have the setup already done in our computer. So usually the videos that I'm doing, those setup it takes us over half an hour, 40 minutes to have the everything there. So what I did, I just created, as you can see in the screen, a Vue 3 starter template. It's a Vue 3 application with Tailwind CSS, Bit, and stuff. I don't know how to add it there. So what I did there is pretty much I just install, for example, the Bit plugin components, the Bit plugin icons. I put the alias for the path. I created the JS config file already there with the strict true for the Bolar dependency on Visual Studio Code. The path is also there. And some extra that I already added is Tailwind is already configured. And it's not only configured, I also install some Tailwind plugins that will help us a little bit better if we need to use it or not in the future. Like extra functionality for Tailwind pretty much. So I just added those. I added a new font. I call it Nito, and I will show you if you want to change it, how to change it. It's actually really easy. But I just make the preparation to have something there. The index HTML, I changed the title, something that needs to be changed. I just already put my colors in there. And I changed the icon. The 5 icon and the public directory is already a different file that for now I'm using that one. But it's a simple application. It's a simple application with just hello there. That is pretty much on the middle of the screen. And I want to show you how to use this. So I will share this template. This is my template. And the cool thing is I declare it in my setting as a template. So when you are logging in GitHub, you can actually select this, use this template, and it will create a new repository taking that as a base. So that's pretty much cool. So I will create, and I will call it chit chat. It's a simple chat application. And let's put a chat application with Vue 3 and Firebase. And create my repository from that template. So that will pretty much what it's going to do is created my chit chat from my starter template, and it's already there. So now that I'm here, I just can go to copy. Of course, I have my SSH key, that's why I'm having this, but if you have the HTTPS, you should be seeing the HTTPS section. In my case, because I have my keys, I'm using the SSH one. So I just copy that one, and it will go to git clone the chit chat. So here the only things that I need to do is go to the server, do npm install, I will open it in my Visual Studio Code, and let's put my Visual Studio Code in another window, and I will run the development environment. Run that. Now with that, I just have let's make this to wait a little bit. The Bit app with the hello there, with an icon, and everything already there. As you can see, the font is also different. If you want to use a different font, the way that I recommended to use it, you go to Google Fonts, right? And on Google Fonts, you select the one that you wanted, you select the sizing that you need. As you can see, I have to save it, the don't need to one that I just save it. And after you have that font, you will put it in the index HTML. You will change pretty much this one from here. And after you change those, you will change the font family in this place and you have a new home if you want it. If not, you can keep this one right here. As you can see, I already enabled all the colors too, so I believe pretty much almost all is there. So the things that I want to change now, and I already have something here, my package JSON, that's okay. So I will change for now in my package JSON, I will change my name of my application to chit chat in order to reflect it. The rest is going to be the same for me. I recommend you to change the author, put your name in there. So let me just save this. What else I can do here? I believe here. Let's change this to chit chat. It's going to be the name. And in my case, I have a new file for my 5 icon. You can download anything that you wanted. So I will just change my cool to chat PNG, and I will remove the cool one. And that will allow me just to have my chit chat application and my new icon right there. And I believe everything is the way that it's supposed to. So now I can do submit and say initial new project setup. Perfect. And now we can actually get started with the app. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to probably will separate this video in 2, maybe 3, depending how long it's going to be. What I want to do is to create the app. We're going to make the connection to Firebase in order to pull up the information. We'll use Firebase as a database. And something really cool about that is you know right already is that Firebase use real-time communication. The real-time communication, I believe they use some kind of WebSocket, but it's already configured for you. So when you call it, when you're making the call to Firebase, and then we're going to put that events for communication or changes on top of Vue, we can actually react when something changes on the database instantaneously without the need to making another call. When we're making API calls in the previous project, we need to refresh the nodes. For example, when we create a new node, we need to refresh it, right, in order to pull up the new node from the database. Here, the server will push the new information. It's going to be automatically reflected on the page, and it's going to be pretty cool. We can actually do that in Node.js too, using WebSocket, as I mentioned before. But it's something that I will not address today, probably not soon. But I just want to show you how that actually works. So my idea is to have like a simple navbar on the top. You cannot use the application if you are not logging in. And after you log into the app, you will be able to put a chat. I want to put something like on the bottom, probably. All the message is going to be there. And depending who sent the message, we can see actually several colors. You will see one color for everybody else and one color when you are your own message. That's it. And then on top of that, I want to add some extra functionality, and that's going to be completely optional. I called a little bit like sugarcoat. I want to add a little animation here and show you how to handle other kind of API, like when you select a message, that message is going to be saved in your clipboard, things like that. So I believe it's a good functionality. So without anything else to add, we already have 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes on the video. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to go to our Firebase console. We go through the console. And we need to create a new project. As you can see, I already had it there. You need to create a new project. And in that project, wow, I have a lot of reads. In that project, what we need to do, you need to go to real-time database. Sorry, we need to go to Firestore, not real-time database. We need to go to Firestore and we need to create a new one. And actually, you know what? Let's actually do it because, yeah, so let me add a new project. Click on new hit chat. Okay, you can put it like whatever name you want to put it there. So let me keep it. I will keep the Google Analytics for now. I will select an account. If you don't have an account, you can create just a new one for the bottom. I just created one for CITP. This is something really simple. And just create a project. And we wait for some minutes. So after the application is just created, we select continue. And we're going to be already inside that. So we need to enable authentication. We go to authentication, get started. For the purpose of this video, I will just use Google authentication. So we'll select Google. I will click enable, click on my email, and save it for now. Cool. In authorized domains, I will select the domain where I will deploy my app. So in my case, I will be chitchat, and I need to do this sooner. I'm going to be Rodolfo Roman.syc. And I have my domain there in order to be able to authenticate through here. So after we have that, we go to Firestore. And on Firestore, we just need to create a new database. We're going to start that one in production mode. That's important. We can actually do test, and test is pretty much permissive, like everybody can go there. But it's not really good practice. So let's go to start in production mode. It will block the writing and the reading from the database, and we need to enable that through permission. This video is not going through all the permissions that we can actually do. I will just show you how to enable it to somebody that is logging through your app. You select the location, and select central for me, and we wait for provision the database through Firestore. So after the database is created, you can see something like this. So we go to the rules, and we need to change the rules to allow read and write. Right now, read and write is pretty much false. Like this is the way that they had it. So we can actually click here where it says view the docs. Now something cool about these documents is we can actually just scroll down a little bit. And let's see where we can actually define my rules. Here, learn more about Firebase security rules and Firebase authentication. Or this one, sorry, Firebase security rules language. We just click it, and it will tell us the way that it should be, right? How to construct those rules, etc., etc. So we just need to go there and find something basic. So let me look for that one. Here, we are going to allow read if request authorization is not equal null. That's pretty much what we need. And let me see if I can see something extra here. Let me just get back. Let me open the other one. There you go. Yes, here. Define custom user information. You can actually save your user in the database, and you can make rule like if you are the owner of the data, things like that. But I don't want to go to that much details today. I just want to only if the request authorization we have access to the request object is not null, and with that should be enough to have it here. So we go back. So we change all the if statement. is request authorization is not null, and we just publish it. And we have already the rule applied. Perfect. So we have the authentication, we have the Firestore rules there, and the last things that we need to do, we need to add the app. So we need to create a web application, call it web app. So we'll register the app. And I will copy pretty much the Firebase configuration. Don't worry about those keys, I will change it after this video. But let me just continue through the console. And I will be able to use those in my app. So let me go back to my app. I can actually go in my source, the way that we used it before. We created a config folder. And then on the config folder, we call it Firebase, I believe. And here we just save everything like export cons Firebase configuration equal that. Right? Before we proceed, we need to add the source config directory in our git ignore in order not to be saved into git before we proceed with anything else. Perfect. So now that we actually have that, the next thing that we need to do is going to actually install Firebase. So the way to install Firebase, as we remember the way that we use it in the login example, is going to be as simple as just npm install Firebase. Also, before it gets installed, we're going to get to the views, we're going to go to the add-ons sections, and we're going to use the integration, the Firebase one, because we're going to use the use authorization for now. They have a really cool one for use Firestore, but right now they have a bug. I already have a pull request, so hopefully that's going to get approved. But for now, the use Firestore is not going to be used in this video. So we are just keep it with the use authorization. The way to use it is pretty much install the Firebase, the view use Firebase tool. So npm install view use Firebase. Perfect, that's going to be there. Cool. So that means I can create in my source directory a new file. Let's call it helpers, and let's call it use Firebase. Those JavaScript. And in my use Firebase, I will start using something that we did before. So we need to import Firebase, and we need to import the Firebase authorization. That's going to be important. Then we need to import our Firebase configuration that came from my Firebase from my config file in the Firebase. And we are going to use the out from Firebase. So let me actually just put this one right here. Perfect. Sometimes I like to keep my imports ordered like this, right? So the first thing that we need to be doing is we need to Firebase initiate the app with my configuration, and then we can use a simple extract the authorization from Firebase. But then we are going to extract the Google provider. This is the one that we enable it from that authorization. And we are going to extract the is authenticated and the user from useout. All of this is the same code that we have in our login example. So later I will create export cons authentication. This is something that I want to export, and I will also, and this will be for later, export cons database. There's going to be the two functions that I want to export from my file. Okay. So in my authentication, it's going to be really simple. I just will create my Google pop-up the same way that we created the last time. I will create my sign up method, and I will return from this one the Google pop-up, the sign out, and I will return the is authenticated and the user that we have in this scope, right? So those is going to be sent through the authentication piece, and I can leave it for that. I believe this should be enough. That will allow us to have our navbar working the way that we need it. So let's actually put that navbar to work. Let's go to the components. As we don't have the component folder, so let's actually create it. So let's put new folder, new file. Let's do component, and let's create the navbar .view. There you go. And let's put a simple template for now. And let's put here navbar. Let's go to the app, and let's put that navbar at the top. And I believe we can actually get rid of all of this that we have here. Okay. Let's see for application, and yes, our navbar is right there. So it's working perfect. Now that we have the navbar, on the navbar, the way that I want to use it, I want to have an icon on the left, and I want to have a button on the right that's going to be the sign in and sign out. And I want to show something on the middle when I'm not signing through the app. But for now, it's the only things that I wanted. So for here, let's grab everything in a div element. Let's do my div. And in this div, I will have another div for my logo. Let's call it like that for now. And another div that this will have actually two pieces. And it will have the it will have two different divs, and I will show you why I'm doing that right now. It will have a button for sign in and log out. Let's actually change this to login. Oops, and this should be actually a button. Log out. So for now, we have the logo, login, log out. Let's do our simple setup. And let's import from, actually we're going to be from helpers, use Firebase. We're going to import the authentication, and the authentication is one T in there. And from this one, we are going to export somehow, or from that authentication, we are going to be using all these elements. This authenticated, user, Google pop-ups, and sign out. So that way, this is my div, and let's put a class there, that dummy class is going to be brand, and this is my div for menu. Let's call it like that, right? That's how we had it. And probably I need to put this one in a paragraph and put a logo there, right? Inside my menu, I have my button when I'm signing in, and my button when I'm, well, the other way around. When I'm signing out, my login button, and when I'm authenticated, my logout. So this is going to be really simple. It's going to be a simple if, and just is authenticated. And this should be a simple BLs. Actually, it's going to be the other way around. If I'm not authenticated, I show the login. If not, I will show the logout. So with that, I should be only able to see just the login there. So now we actually be able just to see that. Cool. And something extra that I want to do here. Let's keep it for that for now. So now let's start styling. We have a little logic there. When I do this, I can see the logout is actually working. So, oops, Control C, there you go. The logic is working the way that it's supposed to. So now, let's start making this to look a little bit better. So for that, let me just put my main div. It will be a background. Let's put purple. Purple 900 should be fine. There you go. Let's put the text. Cool gray 300 maybe? Could be. If you change it just to simple gray. I don't see that much changes there. Let's keep the cool gray for now. And let me add a padding on width of 6. So we have that one will be perfect. Now that we have that, you know what? I need to grab all this in another div because I want to make a container. If I do it here, yeah, that will happen to my background. So in reality, what I need to do, I need to create another div element. I need to send that one to the bottom. There you go. And this one actually can be the class container. Okay, you cannot see it right now, but I can actually just put background pink. So now my container is there. The thing that I need to do for my container is just make an MX auto. I mean, I have margin in X auto. It's going to be pretty much centered. Cool. And now I want to put my brand and my menu as a flex item, one to the left, one to the right. So let's actually change this to be flex. And let's put a space between. So it will push that one all the way to the right. Let's put justify between, there you go. And let's put the item center. Okay, now we have the logo on the left and the bottom on the right. Perfect. And if we change this authentication, let me change the logic. We should be able to see a logo out there. Yes, perfect. So now we have that layout there. Let's change the logo a little bit. What we can do with this logo? Let's actually put in an H1 because it's important to have the logo there. Let's call this chit chat. Okay. Let's create an expand element. And let's put the chat inside that. Okay, why I did it like that? Because I want to style the chat section a little bit different. But I want to have something that will pretty much cover all of them. So let's do a simple class, text, 3XL probably. Okay, yes. And let's do font thin. Yeah, that looks fine. Probably I can use tracking wider to have a little more. No, let's remove that. There you go. And in this one on the chat, let me just create a class of text from bolt. We have like that effect there. It's too gray. Let's actually put this a little bit purple, this section. Text, purple, and what tone? 500? It's too much. 400. Yeah, could be. You know what? Let's do yellow. Now it's too much. Can we do the yellow in here? And remove. Like and here we actually do the cold gray. No, I need to change because the emphasis should be in chat. I'm sorry, I'm just messing around with the colors. I'm just trying to see something that I like it. Let's do 200 maybe. Yeah, that should, no, 300. There you go, chit chat. Cool. So we have the logo is there. But now that we have the logo, I actually want to have an icon. So before the H1, let me just create a new icon. Let's look for MDI. Let's see what we have there. Message. That could be. Something like this, maybe. I have that up to completion because I have the plugin icons. It's called icons. Let me look for that. Icons. Wait. Icons. No. Oh, how is it called? Byte icon. I don't remember the name, but well, I have the plugins there that actually allow me to have that auto completion. I need to look for that. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So this is actually what I have. Iconify IntelliSense. With the Iconify IntelliSense is the one to allow me to have that auto completion, and I can see those icons right there. If you don't have it or you want to have a better looking for those, remember you can always go to icons.gs.org, and any icons that you have here you can actually put it in the app. Like that's the page. Okay. So now that we have that, yeah, I like it. Let me get back to my navbar. My brand, let's actually do a flex, and let's do space X2. And let's move the text tricks L to the branding. So all of them will have the same size, perfect. And I believe I can make my icon yellow. Let's do class. Look at that. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, let's keep it like that for now. Okay, now that we have the logo already there, let's work with this little button for the login section. So for the login, I already have the button created, so let me just change this login for this other one. Oops, I didn't copy everything. So it stays the same. The only thing is that I just changed a bunch of classes, and I put the color green. I create a focus ring, and I'm calling the Google pop-up. The Google pop-up came from my authentication piece. That means that we have that icon right there. If I click it, I should be able to authenticate. Let me select my account. And I'm already authenticated, and that's why we can see the logout there. Cool. So now let's actually change the setup for the logout. I have that one already created too. I'm going to do something really similar. It's going to be pretty much the same way, just change the green to red, and I will call the sign out that came from my authentication piece. So I have that yellow button in there. I just click it and I'm already out. I will click this one, I will log in, and I'm here. Cool. So now that we have all of them, let's actually use the user and let's create something like this. Before the button, let me actually just show the logout, welcome, and the name of the user. What I'm doing here is just call the user display name object. And in order to make this to look a little bit better, we can use just a simple class to make it flex, item center, and I will put in space X of 8, maybe. Yeah, I want to have a little, there we go. So we have welcome Roman, logout, I don't have anything, login. If I click it, I have my name there. Perfect. So we have the navbar working with an authentication piece. It's a really good time just to commit everything. Add it, navbar, and authentication. Cool. Okay, now that we have that, the next piece will be the message one. So the message, I want to show them right here. And the way to use this is going to be really simple. So let me just create a new component called message.view. By the way, part of the logic that I will use now, I took it from my videos from Coding with Justin. He's a really good guy and have a really cool tutorial for Vue. I will put the link in the description. And part of the things that you will see right now is inspired in one of those videos that he had. But I did some changes here and there, and I want to show those changes too. But I will have that disclaimer right now. Okay. So let me put those messages there. I put the template. I put message goes here, right? And let's create another one called no message. Let's put actually call no out dot view. Yeah, probably we can do it like that. Please log in to proceed. I will create those two. Those ones are going to be called in my application view. I will call my message, and I will call my no out. So we have the message go here and please log in to proceed, right? We have both of them, and now we need to check if we are logging in. We show the message. If we are not logging in, we show the no out section. This is just what we need to do here, and for that it's going to be really simple. We just use the authentication from the use Firebase, the way that we had it, and we just get in the it authenticated. That way we can use again a simple if and call this authenticated, and this one should be a simple else, right? And that should be enough. So here I can see my message. You see message goes here. If I log out, please log in to proceed. So now we have that extra logic in order to work. Perfect, yeah. Let me log out. Let's work with the know-how first. And that's going to be really simple. What I want to do in the know-out is I will call a simple div. This div will have an icon, and let's call it from the flat section. And I already know those from Conify. Flat color, I believe it's called color dodge icon. There you go. And we have a bunch of icons there. And the one that we can use this one should be fine. We can choose whatever we need. I'm selecting something that I like it. You can select whatever you want to put in there. You even can import an image or a GIF, even if you want that, right? Like, it should be whatever. I believe we have something called data. There you go. Data encryption, probably. Data protection. Encryption, because that's a little key. That little key looks like is. We need to log in. So, yeah, for that, it will be a simple class. And I will make this a little bit bigger. And I will add a margin at the top of 48 probably. Yeah. And now let's actually put it in the middle. And the best way to put it in the middle is just to make the whole div a flex item. There you go. So we will see that in the beginning, and when we log in, we should see the message. Perfect. Yeah. Probably we can do something more perspective here. Let's put a dash one. Please log in to proceed. Let's actually do this flex column. Let's do space J of, I don't know, 8. Yeah, well, we can make this class text cool grade 300, and let's call it font. Let's actually text 6 XL. I want it really big. Yeah, that works. And because they're really big, we can actually do font in probably. Or extra light. Let's do extra light for now. Yes. Yeah, that should be enough. Now, what about this? Change this to yellow. Ooh. Better. And now let me actually change, see if I can match the yellow of this key here. So let's actually put 600. Not that much, 500. Looks a little bit. Do we have orange? I'm not sure about that. Oh yeah, we have orange. Does look a little bit better. Well, I like that one. And let's do. We have tracking with trailing. No, it was too much. No. Yeah, probably this should work. And instead of the extra light, let's do font. normal. Let's do a light. Yeah, that should be better. So please log in to proceed. And we click the login. And we go through the message. Okay. So for that, let's actually do another step. Created homepage. Let's call it like that. Or not out. Cool. Now we need to start handling the message. And the way that I want to do it, I want to make the call, make the connection to the message. And I want to actually have different sections here. So in my message, I should have a new component. That component will be message in singular. And it's actually without this. And I want a new component called new message. That will be the form for sending that, right? And a new message, and we have the message there. And for the template for the new message, that should be a little bit better, faster to do probably. But what I want to do here, let me just put a simple div, and that will just grab everything. And I want to have an input. I want to type text. I don't need the name for now. I don't need the ID either. And I will have a button. Send. Oh, of course. A message. Let's make this a template. And let's put message goes here. So in message in plural, when we need to call the message in singular, and we need to call the new message. We shall will see the message goes here, and this one will be pretty much a before, right? Let's call for now n in 10, right? And the key is going to be n. Right, so we have a lower message. Oops. Let's go back to the message here, and probably we can grab this in a paragraph. So yeah, all the messages are going to go there, and we have like a little search bar with the button to put it. Cool. So the first thing, let me move this. I want to put this at the bottom, and I want to expand it across the whole page. Let's see if we can do that. So in this div element, pretty much what we need to do, we need to change the class, and we need to make the object absolute. Making the object absolute will allow us to put bottom 0. Perfect. And let's call left 0 and right 0. Before we continue, we need to do just do a simple background. Let me check. Background red, just to see it's actually taking it. Yeah, we have the whole component right here. So we just need to make this bigger in order to utilize everything, right? So in order to do it, we need to pretty much keep this as a flex element, right? And that will allow us to put our input box to have the flex grow property. And we can actually flex grow property, and then we'll be okay, expand this element across the board. Yeah, and we have that label there. Perfect. So now that we have that, let me change this button to be a little more appealing. And well, better as it is, probably not that appealing too much, but yeah, is what we have. Let's do a background, yellow 300. I like the yellow. And let's do what else we can do here. And instead of doing this, let's actually send an MDI element. We have something called send. Yes, send check, send outline, circle, clock. That's actually the send one. So that should be there. Perfect. Let's make this input. Well, this already had the same size. Yes, it already does. So probably the only things that we need to add into this bottom is a little padding. Padding X of, I don't know, 2. Let's do 8. So that big button there. Perfect. So we can actually send the message here, and we can actually put that one right there. So let's change this input to be a little more appealing. And let's do it text a little bit bigger. Yeah. And let's actually do the font thin, because I want to keep everything thin. There you go. Okay, one last thing that I want to do, and this is going to be a little trick that I picked up from the Tailwind website. It's like, and I already did it here. So let me show you that. When I hover over, or when I have something in focus, as you can see, right, I put that ring green for the green button in the login. I put that red ring for the logout, right? You can see it there. But by default, we have that blue one here, and we have that blue one there. So let me actually delete those, and let me show you how we can actually handle it. What I want to do, I want to have one big one that will cover both of them. So the way to use it, first we need to do outline none, to delete the outline here, and to delete the outline here, we use the outline none. Perfect. And now actually I need to put it on the focus state. So I need to say, when I have this as a focus, oops, I don't want to have an outline. And it's not working. Why is it not working? I refresh it just in case. Okay, the button did actually work because it selected it not there, but the input is still there. Outline, solid, transparent. Oops, what I'm doing? Yeah, I don't know what I'm not doing it. Okay, so the next that I want to use is here on the top, on the div element. I will make this focus within, and I will put a ring of 4, that's a really big ring. And I want that ring to be yellow. And let's put the yellow 300 that we are using here. So that will allow me to have that. Okay, it looks a little bit better. You see that little mark there that is actually selected. I still have that blue one, I don't know why it's doing it. But if I select the button or select this one, it's actually doing both, and I believe it's a little bit better. So I will keep it like that for now. For the image, okay, I have that one. So the other things that I need to do, let me now go through the message and let me change the layout for the message. So for every message that we have, we need to do some changes here. So let me remove this message hook here. Let's do a traditional div to grab everything, right? And every message will be in another div. Like this is the main div for the message, and we'll have an image right here. But for now, let me actually just put an icon because I don't have an image. MDI account. There you go. Let's put that one as a placeholder. We will change it later. Yeah. And let me this to be class. Let's make this background, I don't know, white for now. And let's do rounded full. I want the icon to, yeah, the avatar. Perfect. And let's this to be a little bit bigger. It's 12, white 12. Yeah. Okay. A lot better. So now that we have that icon there, that means that we can actually we should have another div element that will pretty much have our message here. So for that one, I want to have something for the message, and let's call message goes here, right? And I will have another div element, and it's just simple wrapper that for different method by Rodolfo Roman, right? Actually put outer goes here. I want to put the message, I want to have the outer, perfect. And I want those to be parallel of one to the other, so that means that this one, the wrapper, should be a flex item. And the whole element actually should be another flex. So we have the message right there, okay. Now that we have the message, let's make this container. And let's do a max auto. Probably instead of the container, let's do a maximum width of Excel. Oops. Unless we need to have the container actually. Okay. What we can do there? Mass width of 2XL. We cannot see that, so let me actually put something color on the background. Let me put a simple background, purple 800. Okay, we can see that across the board. Probably we can put 900 or to be the same color as the navbar. Sorry for that. Okay. Yeah, that should work. If I remove this, what happened? The container take precedence. So yeah, let's keep it like that. So what I want to do in those, I want those to be, need to have a margin y of 4, so we have the separation one by the other one. Need to be rounded, full, so that will integrate pretty cool with the icon, right? And we have that little look and feel. Let's look a little bit better, just a little bit. And what else we can use here? Probably we can keep it like that for now. Let's change these items here. And we can do with those now. I want to put this centered, right? I want, of course, a little bit separated. and I want to send the outer to the end very much. Is what I want to do here. So how we can actually do that? Let's do, we have this for the message, this for the outer, so that's actually this one here. What we can do, flex, we'll do a flex column, maybe. Will work. And let's do a flex row. So that should be like pretty much the whole size, right? And let's see if it actually works. Let's do a background pink. It's just like a, yeah, it took everything. If I remove the flex row, you just take that one. So yeah, we need to have the flex row in order to take the all the object. Perfect. And now that I have that, actually probably I can do something like this. Put message, the outer, there. Yeah, probably this doesn't make sense. Just that one there, yes. And here, let's actually put one beside the other. So let's actually do the flex, and let's do justify around. Or what else we can use? And we can use actually, let's put item centers. That will, okay, make it center through that. Now I want to separate those. How can I separate those two elements from here? I believe the simplest way will be to make a class to this and do margin left of auto. Nope. What else I can do? Well, let's make this text a little bit bigger. So I have this right there, Fontaine, text Excel. Looks a little bit better. Let's remove the ping. We know that the ping is actually, the grow is actually working. What we need to do now, we actually need to push this over there. Well, before we do that pushing, let's make this font color different. And let's do text, purple, 300 maybe. Yeah, that makes sense somehow. I just need to verify what type of justify we need. Justify. Between? No. Justify and? No. What I can do? Oh, wait. Let me check this. Flex. Sorry. Background pink. Oh, that's why. So this one should be a flex row item too. Flex grow. There you go. And here is the end, which should be between. There you go. Okay, that's right. So we're able now to take the whole space and we send the message to the left and the outer to the right. Let's make a little margin there. So let's, before the font, let's do margin X of 8. Somehow makes sense. Probably it's too much. Let's do 4. Yeah, better. And let's make the text for the outer little. Let's make this one font tint. And let me see if I can do italic. Does that work? Yes. I already have the font tint, right? Yes, I already have the font tint. So let's actually put it text small. Yeah, our usually is smaller. So yeah, that's pretty much the layout that I want to have. And oops, let me push it. There you go. So we can log out, we can log in. And we have the look and feel already. Oh, let me just refresh this. Yeah, perfect. And I can see this, everything is where it's supposed to. Okay, probably it's too much purple. Oh, yeah, that's okay. So I have over an hour right now, so I will stop the video. Let me just commit this and message layout. And I will create another one that we will continue, and we'll do it now the actually Firebase connection. So for now, hope that you like it. Any question or doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.